Okay. Okay. I think I got her going here. Running a little bit behind, so I didn't get no new pictures uploaded or anything like that. We got some flies in here. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Like that one woke back up. I'm gonna go grab a root beer. So I'm just gonna put it on this picture for a minute until somebody shows up. What else could I put it on? Too quick to see. Hey, how you doing? How's all the live streams going for you? Do you get a lot of followers when you do that? Subs. I just running behind a little bit. Just trying to get some stuff done. I don't want to put myself on camera quite right now. Just waiting for some people to show up. Yeah, that picture was quite a while ago. And that's me with my Grand-Am. So doing I get a couple. I get most of my subs just from doing short videos. We got to get you on vertical on the PC. Yeah, no, we're doing a full landscape mode, long video format style tonight. So Thursday nights, this is what we do. I can put multiple cameras on and stuff. I'm just using my phone cam. I'm just getting some things organized here before I come on. I'll put it on a different picture. Yeah, I'll be in here in just a second. So, what did you do for excitement today? Too quick to see. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to. I just got done working. I just got all the brake fluid flush done on this CRV. I got the wheel bearing in there. That took a while. That wheel bearing was hard to press in and out of there. Got to head around, stick around until you got to go. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be catching up with more of your live feeds. It was a little interesting when I joined on at very first, but then towards the end, it got a lot better, I thought. Oh man, the gym, the mall to get my daughter a new phone, and then she took me out for lunch. Well, that was nice of her. Where'd you guys go? You guys got all the restaurants like we got? Yeah, I know that. I was a little little skeptical of what was going on there. Yeah, I'll put it back on me. Yeah, I was a little skeptical of what was going on your life. At first, I'm like, because that's kind of out of my league. Yeah. So then it got better towards the end, and I started chatting with some of the guys that were in there. They were pretty cool too. The Autobahn. Yeah, I always want to drive on the Autobahn. Oh, A&W. Yeah, that's the root beer I'm having for tonight. We used to have an A&W in Spring Valley, and they tore it down and put a car lot there. Kind of sucks. That's got a little can. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to wing it tonight. I'm not prepared. I just got done. So I did this. The Honda CRV is still in here, and I'm gonna have to finish that up tomorrow morning because I'm supposed to have tomorrow morning off. Hey JD, Too Quick to See is in Canada too. So Too Quick to See, Peekaboo is JD. We call him JD, and he's in Nova Scotia, Canada, and he's a mechanic. Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, JD. How you doing? And how was your Subaru wheel bearings? Did you get through that? Hey, Michelle. Michelle made it on here. But yeah, it was kind of I'm trying to find my days here. Yeah, so we just had this. It's a big quote. I got it narrowed down. I just got a couple things left to do on it. And then we got to get the pickup all ready to go for Saturday. AutoZone brought us some big banners. Yeah, got them done. Yeah, we're thinking about you, like maybe, I don't know. We are just like, man, because we hadn't seen you for a couple live streams. And I'm not prepared for tonight, but I'm gonna wing it and do the best I can. So yeah, our parade is coming up on Saturday. So we're in it, and we got, let me show you. We got some sponsors, and we decided to put all these signs on the pickup. So we got Auto Value, Napa, and AutoZone, and then like they all got us cases of water for the old people, and then candy for the kids. So here's Napa's on the left there, and then AutoZone on the right of that picture. And then Auto Value just got us 3 great big cases of water, big bottles. So me and Michelle got to go up to Rochester tomorrow, and we're going to get water, candy, and whatever else we need. Ice. We need ice. So I started freezing a bunch of ice tonight. So maybe we'll be able to be okay and not have to buy ice, but it's not a big deal. Ice don't cost that much. Been busy the last few weeks, life things. Well, I hope everything's going okay for you. Hope you work it all out. What way do the wheel bearings go on if it's a press fit on the Audi? Or, well, they go into an inner diameter. I got some. I'll show you. So here's the one I pressed out for this Honda CRV, and then on one side you got a magnetic reluctor ring right through here. So you got to make sure you put that in so it goes in the right spot so it hits the ABS sensor. And then when you press them off, of course, the other side gets stuck on the hub. And then this one had a ring on it. I was able to get my bearing plate clamp onto it, and then I just pressed it off. So yeah, that's what they look like. And this is a big one, and this baby was stuck in there. And it's really hard to jig them up because I take the whole strut assembly out so I don't mess with the alignment. So the whole strut, coil spring, knuckle all comes out. Yeah, the Subaru is hub assemblies. Yep, and they stick in there. Ask JD. They stick. They're in there. You got to fight them. Yeah, we got to make a bunch of ice. We're gonna be giving away free water for the parade, and I want it cold. So hopefully that all turns out good. And we could have had up to 3 more sponsors, but they just didn't get back to us. And O'Reilly's did say no. They said they don't do that. So I'm a little mad with O'Reilly's, but it's the only place to get brake calipers. So I put a brake caliper on a Chrysler minivan the other day. My camera keeps going in and out. It'll go back on. So I put a brake caliper on a Chrysler minivan the other day, and I ordered a Duralast one. It just made it into the bleeding process, and then I realized it was junk. The parking brake didn't work on it, and when we got it all pumped up, as soon as you let off the pedal, the caliper would fully retract on its own. So I'm like, no, this ain't right. So I had to go back to O'Reilly's and get the Brake Best ones that I never have any trouble with, and sure enough, that worked perfectly, and we got it out the door. But yeah, that was on this one where the master cylinder was bad. There's the brake fluid, and that brake fluid was in there, and it must have swelled up the seals, and it was leaking by because it was having lots of brake fade. Like I could pump it up as hard and as fast as I could, but the pedal would fade right to the floor. But the rear caliper, that was just a seeper, and I can't let any kind of a brake leak leave my shop, so I had to replace that, and found out the Duralast calipers are no good right out of the box. Have you ever used the torch trick to get the stuff? Yeah, no, I've tried it. At the other shop I worked at, the guys could do it, but I could never do it. And I tried it here because I'm like, gosh, it looks so simple when people do it. But for me, for some reason, either I'm not turning it fast enough or not putting enough heat on it right away. I can't get it to work. Most of the time I take my die grinder or cutoff wheel. Most of the time I take the cutoff wheel and just cut her down and then hit it with the air chisel and it snaps. But today I was able to use my bearing puller plate. So yeah, I've never been able to make the torch deal work. I tried like 3 times, because each time I'm like, maybe I'm not turning it fast enough, or there's got to be a trick to it. I just don't know. Dry ice, yeah, heat and dry ice. Yeah, I'll put stuff in the freezer occasionally, and then I'll also use like the propane torch so it don't get too hot. I do a lot of bearings on electric motors, and I got a bearing heater and then the wax pen. Lots of heat and rotate it. Yeah, maybe I don't have the torch turned up high enough, or I know when I was doing it, I used the cutting tip. Because I just didn't think the rosebud would spread the heat out to the hub. But I'll have to try it again sometime. So lots of heat. So yeah, there's a lot of flies. They've been bothering me today. Got a new lawnmower in to work on right over here. So this one, she said she hit something in the yard when she was mowing, and she drove it over, but I found out the belt's pretty bad. Then she's like, well, while you're at it, it needs an oil change, and then, oh, can you sharpen the blade? So I was like, okay. And then let me just show you, AutoZone brought us some more stuff. So here's the brake fluid out of this CRV. That's some pretty nasty brake fluid out of this CRV. But AutoZone brought us a couple more banners, and I don't know if I'm going to put these on or not. But they got us some Duralast ones. Too quick to see Pete. Tomorrow I'll be at the track. Yeah, so how close are you to a track? So what kind of cars do they race? Is it an asphalt track, a dirt track? I think you said it was a dirt track. Yeah, I've been ordering 2 quarts of brake fluid every day now, and everything I do, I got Aveo had the clutch. This thing needed a brake fluid flush, and one of the calipers was starting to lock up on it. Lots of heat, gotta be quick. Just heat up the race, falls right off. That's what I tried to do. Do you use the cutting torch part? Maybe I don't. Maybe the torch I use doesn't have a big enough tip on it. And then it was I don't know if it was earlier this week or whatever, but then the Chrysler minivan, the 2008, that needed a full brake fluid flush. That brake fluid was contaminated. That's the one I showed you in the picture. So where's that at? Let me show you that picture. So this is the other one I'd done. Man, I've been going through some brake fluid, I'll tell you that. Right here, look at this brake fluid. That's like orange. Tomorrow it's 1/4 mile. Yeah, so maybe my tips I just got to turn it up hotter. I'll try it again because that would be the fastest way. But people make videos of heating up that race on the hub all the time, and they make it look so easy. It's not easy for me. It's easier for me to get my cutoff wheel and the air hammer out. Yeah, Michelle says it looks like motor oil. Well, we think that it was contaminated with motor oil, but being one's a hydroscopic fluid and one's a I was going to get a fly, but one's the oil is petroleum based, so they separate. They don't really mix together. Got to get going, Pete, and the chat. See you again soon. Well, thanks for coming. Too quick to see, and glad you could make it. Good luck on the races. Hope you have a good night. If I don't come into a live feed that you have, because you see they have a lot of them. So what? Oh yeah. So here, JD, I just looked this up on Tuesday for the live stream. So this is my cost for 5 quarts of oil at all my suppliers. So we got AutoZone. Let me make that a little bit smaller. AutoZone STP is kind of what the oil they have as their cheapest brand. 31.61. Auto Value has 30.99 for their brand Parts Master, and then O'Reilly's had their brand O'Reilly's 34.99, and then the stuff I get right here to Napa 24.55. Yeah, too quick to see. I think if you're gonna do what you want to do, you got to focus on just try to focus on the car stuff. And I know the chat goes off a little bit, and you seem to be a little bit younger than me, but yeah, I didn't know what to think of it until the end there, and then I was having a better time. So good luck on your races. I'll look for some videos of some live feeds or whatever for you, or about you on that racing. I love racing. So what else did I do? It's probably a lot that JD don't know about. I did an oil change on a F350 Super Duty with the 6.7 Power Stroke, and my Rotella, I put 540 Rotella in those, and that doubled per quart. That same Napa's oil is almost $50 here, but is that in Canadian or are you talking US dollars? And I do get a pretty good break on it because that's all I buy, and I run my store out of these 5-quart jugs all the time. But yeah, that would be too. My customers would stop doing oil changes if it was that much. Canadian, yeah. So that's a little bit. I don't know what that would be in US dollars. I don't know a lot about like the currency rates or whatever you call it, whatever they're. What else did I do that was interesting? Yeah, it was Monday we did that master cylinder with that orange brake fluid. So I've been going through some brake fluid here. I was just wondering, JD, do you think like a .3 system, if I'm flushing it out, do you think I should upgrade that to like a .4? I just don't know. Yeah, so you're $10 higher than us on that oil. Is that the oil you use at your shop? Do you buy a lot of it or do you got bulk? No, Michelle, you went backwards. It's okay. I get things backwards all the time. Michelle, it looks like your device is out here. Your hearing device. So I'm in the shop and she's in the motorhome. I don't know why my camera was cutting in and out. But yeah, so the oil changes since the oil did go up. I've been getting a little bit less oil changes, but now people waited and they're overdue. We just had one come in today and she wouldn't tell me how far over she was, although I can figure it out when she gets here. So we made an emergency appointment for her, I think next Tuesday is as soon as I could get her in. Because we have Friday tomorrow and we have tomorrow and Saturday off and probably Sunday too because it's our town festival. And we're in the parade. And let me put that back up. So me and Michelle are pretty excited about getting into the parade. And we're not going to put the signs on the Ranger anymore. We're going to use my pickup. So I do got some squeaky springs in the back. I replaced them with some aftermarket ones from Amazon. We'll go back there in just a second, but I don't know what to do. I don't want it squeaking in the parade. I've lubed them down a week ago and 2,000 over. Yeah, doesn't she have a Jeep, Michelle? Yeah, so let me put it back on my screen and let's go check out these springs. I got to show JD. Maybe he's got some kind of an answer. I don't know what to do. They're aftermarket springs, and I heard they're always squeaky. But I'm just gonna put the camera right here. I'm gonna try to tip it down without dropping it. I'm gonna go bounce on the back. So I gotta come up with an answer for that. because I don't want to drive in the parade like that. Then we also got this cool flag. Of course, JD's in Canada, but a 250th anniversary flag. Because the 4th of July is coming. One nation under God. I like that up there. All right, let's get back to the comments. Maybe JD's got an answer for this. Yeah, it's dry bushing somewhere, but I'm just I spray them with penetrating oil. I sprayed them with everything, fluid film. Canada Day is July 1st, so you guys got some celebrations coming up too. Then, yeah, Michelle's kind of got Canadian heritage in her, and she's a dual citizen, and I think, and so is her dad. So I can't wait till they take me up to Canada. My brother goes to Canada for some training for, I can't remember, but it's for agricultural stuff. Some kind of tillage things, I think, or planters or grain carts or something. He goes up there for training once a year. I'd never been to Canada. I've been to northern Minnesota, but I've never been into Canada. I'm afraid that if I go to Canada, they might not let me come back. I don't know. Tighten up with the bushings with the truck on the ground. I can't remember, but maybe. I think I did it on the hoist. Yeah, I might have. It was a few years ago. I did it at the shop that I used to work at. I mean, I know not to do that, but I might have because it was my own truck. Michelle's dad is from Kenora / Winnipeg. So maybe I should just loosen all them shackle bolts tomorrow. I'll lift it up on the hoist. I'll loosen all them shackle bolts. I could drive with them loose, or I could reset them, like JD said. But if I did that a couple years ago and then set them right, they're probably shot. I remember it did not squeak until about, I don't know, 3-4 months after driving it. Or creaky noises. And then it got really worse, and then I've been lubing them down, and they kind of got better. Yeah, that's a long way. He's way eastern. Remember, he said he's 2 hours ahead of us. Leisure, you made it. I was wondering if you were going to make it. Yeah, I'm completely unprepared for tonight. I was working on this CRV, and it's still in the shop. I'm going to have to finish it up tomorrow on my day off. Didn't get it done. The wheel bearing was really stuck in there. But I got it. I got that part done. Got the brake fluid flush done. I got the driver's door window switch and maybe lube up the front brakes a little bit. Hanging off the East Coast, yeah, it's way eastern. I mean, I don't know what town you live in, Nova Scotia, but I looked up where it was because you said you were an hour before Leisure, so you had to be farther east of the East Coast of the United States. So yeah, Leisure. I've been ordering like two quarts of brake fluid every day this whole week. This one, look at this brake fluid on the CRV. And I just got this flushed out of there right before the live feed. Some nasty brake fluid. But I got it cleaned up on all the wheels. They're all coming out clean fluid. And I screwed up on that too because I didn't check to see if I could get the bleeders open before I did it, before I told him about it, that I needed to do this work. Usually I do. I forgot on this one, but I'm lucky. All the bleeder screws came loose. Yeah, let's check it out. I haven't opened it up yet. It's here in a Duralast box. They're the only guys that had it. Whoops. So I'm not seeing any the only number on it's right there. And the driver switch feels funky just like the one that's in there. Hopefully that works. No, it's this one that doesn't work. The driver's side passenger window does not work on his. You know why the driver one sounds different? Because it's an auto. It's got something in there to make it roll down by itself. But yeah, it doesn't say Dorman on it. Made in China. The AutoZone was the only one that could get me one for today. Dark green. What's dark green? Yeah, the brake fluid on the CRV is kind of black. Don't last. Yeah, I got to write that one down too. Duralast don't last. Yeah, AutoZone brought us a banner today. 2 of them. So let me go through this. This is what we did on Tuesday. Duralast don't last. Leisure comes up with all these good sayings. Duramax, Duralax. I showed a picture of a Buick Century on here. Where's that at? Buick Century wagon right there. I worked on that car. And Leisure says it's a Stentury. And then Toyota TRD. TRD stands for Totally Rusted Disaster. And then 6.7 Power Stroke is 6.7 Power Joke. Squid Ink. Yeah, it looks bad. It's really bad. But AutoZone came today and they brought us some banners. I'm just not sure that I need to advertise Duralast, but Michelle wants to. And then I picked up this flag on Amazon. We're going to put that out here. And then here's what me and JD were talking about on my truck. So I'm just going to bounce it. I got to get rid of that noise. And I don't even have the camera on. All right, I've got to do this over. So here's I didn't have that on the camera. Here's the Duralast banner. They brought that today. Here's my flag that I picked up on Amazon. In God we trust. No, it's one nation under God. And then my pickup. And I put new springs in there, heavy duty ones too. I got them on, I don't know if they're eBay or Amazon. Duralast tools, yeah. I don't know if I have any Duralast tools. They did bring me a flyer. Yeah, right here. Some Duralast wrenches. They look good. Extension set, ratchets. That's all they got. Just the back page. Just the back page has some tools. I don't. It's been a long time since I've been in an AutoZone store. Yeah, I figured that out, Michelle. Broke when delivered. BWD. Might as well write that one down too, yeah, bro. Oh yeah, broke when delivered. That's the AutoZone brake caliper I put on the other day. A Duralast brake caliper. Yep, it didn't even make it out the door. We got the bleed in it, and I noticed that when Michelle would let off the pedal, the piston would fully retract back in. I mean, all the way. It would move a 7/16 of an inch all the way back in. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna operate the parking brake, and it doesn't even move the piston. So I took that off and got one from O'Reilly's, which I'm mad at O'Reilly's. JD just asked you to tighten up the bushings with the truck on the ground. No, I don't really think I did. I think I had it in the air. You know, maybe I did put the transmission jack under there, but that probably didn't lift it up as high as it needed to be. I do think I remember now. I did put the transmission jack under one side at a time. I got a pair of Icon needle nose slip joint pliers. Knew someone that was going to the States. How do you like them? I don't have those yet. I have the bigger ones. The ones like the Snap-on. It didn't make it out of the box. Yeah, that Duralast brake caliper, I was upset with O'Reilly's, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna get a Duralast brake caliper, and I hope this goes good. And I took it out of the box, and I showed Michelle it was all, I think it's painted, not powder coated, but it was silver colored. I'm like, look at this, Michelle. This thing's made out of silver. And she's like, oh, that looks so nice. And then we go to put it on and start using it, and man, the spring there, the little lever that holds the spring broke right off too. Seen that on Caravan. Yeah, it was a Dodge. It was a Grand Caravan. Yep. Let me look and make sure it wasn't a. We just did it on Monday, and then Michelle sent her other estimate for all the oil leaks today. Gosh, I can't even find it, Michelle. We're at 59 invoices for this month so far. Here it is. Yeah, it's a 2008 Chrysler Town & Country, and it was the rear one. Driver's side rear one. They're great. Aerosol overhaul. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been spraying stuff on there all the time. They're brand new springs. I mean, they're about 2 years old now, but I have hardly no miles on them. They didn't squeak until like 3 months after I put them in there. Yeah, it was super shiny and everything broke right away. It was no good right out of the box. 100%. So do you get your new calipers from the dealer, or where do you get new calipers? None of my places have new calipers. I think even the dealers sell me some rebuilt ones. Yeah, you'll have to let me know on that, JD. Oh, what else we got here? Yeah, I think I got the veil done. Now we can look at Benny's car just a little bit better. I don't think I'll have to check a little bit harder, but maybe they're farther down on the list. But I don't think my guys got any that they keep on hand, any new ones for sure. I will have to check on that. But I do have good luck with the Riley's Brake Best calipers. I don't think I've had any of those fail or had a problem. Once in a while, I'll get one that's missing the brake bleeder cap, which I'm running out of brake bleeder caps. I got to get some more. Walter, you made it. Wagner makes new brake calipers. I wonder. I'm just gonna go on Napa or on Parts Tech and just search once because I don't. So this Honda CRV, I'm gonna type in brake caliper. You know what? I'm gonna put you guys. I'm gonna put you guys up here so you can see what I'm doing. So let me go to the computer screen. All right, now you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm starting at Napa. We're on the 2007 Honda CRV. Napa has adaptive ones, remanufactured. I don't know if some of these are new. It doesn't say if it's new or remanufactured on this particular one that I can find. All right, let's go somewhere else. So maybe Napa does have some new ones. These are the ones I get. Remanufactured, remanufactured, remanufactured. Go to Johnston. Quality built. Never tried one of those, but they don't. Well, there it says remanufactured. Yes, yes, yes. All those are remanufactured. Auto value. Remanufactured. Perfect stops. All remanufactured. AutoZone, which I'll probably never buy one again. Remanufactured. Power Stop. I think wasn't it you, Walter, was talking about those at one time? Doesn't say. Yeah, AC Delco Golds are remanufactured. It doesn't look like I could get any Wagner stuff. AC Delco Golds are remanufactured. Yep, just didn't have no luck with the Durlast. I don't have no luck with Johnson. I got some from Johnson before, but I don't see those. It's probably because we need to put in a different vehicle. I never have any trouble with these brake busts. I never tried an adaptive one. Look at the price on that, $112. What's Johnson got? 76. All right, gotta catch up on my brake worst. Oh, that's a good one. Leisure said new Geon from Auto Value. Bastardized. Remanufactured. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I'm gonna write it down. That's a good one. Because I just put the remanufactured ones on. Those are the ones I can get. I can order from the dealer, but normally I don't for brakes. Normally I don't unless the person wants dealer brakes. They ask for them, then I'll put dealer brakes on. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm supposed to have the day off, but we got to finish up this Honda CRV. We got to work on the pickup a little bit, clean it up, get all our signs mounted. We got to run to Rochester, get ice and more candy and more water. I noticed my pickup is out of gas, so I'm wondering. I don't remember leaving it there with no gas in it, and it's not leaking it out. So maybe somebody stole it. What else do we got to do tomorrow, Michelle? We got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I have really good luck with the brake vest. I don't put brake vest rotors or pads on. I'll use a Napa Sonic Guard, or I'll use the DFCs now. Have to reseal an oil pan on a Transit van tomorrow. Backwoods credit card. So I'm just trying to think, the Transit van, is that oil pan accessible? It was what was the van we did, and I took pictures of, Michelle, that had the axle running through the oil pan. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. It was on a Ford. JD says he's not even supposed to work on Fridays. So do you guys work like 4 or 10-hour shifts then? I'm gonna have to look on my invoices for that van that we did. Also 410s, yeah. So we work 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, and then 9 to noon on Saturday, which I'm always here. Last Saturday was 9 o'clock because I think I did 8 cars. So it was before this. I'm just trying to figure out which van it was. I know I got it now. So it's a Lincoln Navigator, a 2021 Lincoln Navigator. The front axle is part of the oil pan on the engine. Let me pull it up. I know whose it is now. I'll tell you what size engine is in it. I'm gonna have to type his name. So it's a 2021 Lincoln Navigator, and the engine is a 3.0 liter like twin turbo thing. And the front differential and axle, because I did a short video and Leisure commented on it. But I'm like, if the oil pan starts leaking on that or something, or if it needs an engine change or anything, I don't want nothing to do with that. And then there's there's another kind of van that the front axle runs through the oil pan, or probably a couple more different ones. No, I don't, Michelle. Let me see if I could change it. Am I missing somebody's messages? Somebody's comments? I must be missing somebody. No, when I first started, it was 7 to 11 every day. Because the doctors need their cars fixed on Sundays. Well, sometimes I don't read every message. I'm just going back to see if I missed anything important. See if my auto value carries NewGen. Oh, that's what you wanted me to do? Nope, they just have perfect stop. Auto value just has perfect stop. Let me... Yeah, that just remanufactured, perfect stop. I thought I seen a NewGen. Is that was AutoZone maybe? No, I'm just looking through again. No NewGen. No NewGen. No, I don't have access to that. Nope. Out of the 5 I got up here, none of them have a NewGen. I think, yeah, it could be worse. At least it's not a pro disaster van. Yeah, a ProMaster. I do not like doing anything on a ProMaster. I might just refuse them if they come here. I don't have any yet, but I did work on them at the other shop I worked at. I have to move the transmission back from the engine to get the pan out. What kind of van did you say that was? Transit. So that's front wheel drive? Walter says the Chevy Trailblazers, GMC Envoys, and old Bravadas had the axle through the oil pan. Wow. So there is a lot of them. That's crazy. Yeah. It's I worked on a... Yep. Can't remember what it was, but maybe a Colorado I had in the other day, maybe. I'm not sure. The GM SUVs typically have a rod through the oil pan. Okay, Leisure's joking around. Actually, I got a car I kind of missed the diagnosis on. It's a 2016 Hyundai Sonata, and it's got a code for the knock sensor. Okay, so it's in complete limp mode on the way here. So I clear the code off. I go out for a 5-mile drive. Everything seems fine. Okay, so then I go on there. There's a TSP for the knock sensor wiring. So I'm like, I called my customer up and I said, I think this is your problem, and it needs an oil change. So today I can't get the rewire kit from the dealer until Monday. So today I'm like, I'm going to do the oil change on it and get caught up and get it outside, and then I'll just have to do the wiring. So today I did the oil change on it and drove it a little bit more. But when I got back, I could hear a little rod knock if you held the throttle up at a steady pace a little bit. So the sensor rewiring kit is not going to work. It's actually got a rod knock, and I haven't called her to tell her yet. I'll call her tomorrow, but hopefully she didn't get too excited. Like, I told her it's going to be a simple fix, and now after doing the oil change, maybe they had the oil full of STP. I don't know, but now after doing the oil change, I can hear a little rod knock in her. So yeah, it's going to need an engine. No, I don't like removing the oil pans. If you gotta, I don't mind it if nothing's in the way. But if you got to take the transmission set back, that's not going to be fun at all. Uncle Rodney is banging around in there, tripping the knock sensor. Yeah, yeah, that's what's going on. But it didn't do that the other day. It ran perfectly smooth. I drove it for it's more than 5 miles. I think it's like almost 10 miles. I come back and I'm like, all right, let's look that code up and see what that. And there's a TSP on it for the same thing. But today I know the sensor relocation wiring kit is not going to work because I can actually hear a rod knocking. Now, I did look at the dealer, like they have connecting rod bearing sets available, so maybe I could get a connecting rod bearing kit and just slap it together and get it back on the road. But usually that don't work because the crankshaft is usually pounded out of it. No, I know what if you hold it at a steady RPM and you can hear it, the piston's hitting the head. I can hear that. Yeah, there was no, the oil looked, it was due for an oil change, just due. But I didn't see any metal in the oil when I pulled the stick. It wasn't silver at all. It just looked like used oil. I mean, not even black, not brown, just right at the point where I think somebody doctored it up before they got to me. But I think the good news is I only have an oil change into it, so I do have to call her and give her the bad news. And I can't do that now. I'll have to do it later or tomorrow. Yeah, I don't want to doctor it up because it ain't gonna last. So it's either gonna get fixed or a new engine or just not fixed. Now that fly is being a pesky one. I got one. I might have missed that one. I'm not sure. They usually are warranty C Mini covered with lots of miles on a Hyundai. Because when I called the dealer for the part, because I couldn't look it up, the part had QQ at the end of it, and he said that's a recall. I'm like, is this car under recall? And he won't answer me. Yep, I should cut that oil filter part. I could do that tonight after the live feed. Or we could do it on the live feed. Anybody want to cut an oil filter apart? Yep, I'm going to be calling the dealer back because I don't need that wiring kit because I know that's not the problem. I'll have to pull the scanner up to see the code, but it was sensing knock. And it was in limp mode. It would only go a couple miles an hour. But here's the other thing. The code was a history code, but yet the engine light was still flashing and the car was in limp mode. But I cleared the code off and I was able to drive it for like it's like 7 miles. And everything was fine. And I did check the oil before I drove it just to make sure someone was in there. Cut it? You guys want to cut the oil filter? Okay, let's go get it. So we're going to use this brake fluid container. We'll move this one. So it's got a Wix, and on the bottom there's a data. It looks like 324. No, 3 of 21. I don't know what that means. Is that the last time the oil was changed in 2021? I got my handy dandy oil filter cutter because I got to tip this camera maybe. So maybe back here. So I don't have nobody come and get my oil filters, so we cut them all. And then I put the steel in the recycling and take the paper out. I might have cranked her a little too tight. There, I got it all over. I don't think I got any on me. Okay, I just went and got another pan. You guys aren't able to see. I'm going to adjust this camera so I can tip it down. Oh, there's some metal in there. Let me get a light. Oh, yeah. You guys see that? She's toast. That's evidence right there. Oh, yeah. Look in here. Can you see it right there? Oh, it's falling out of there. Oh, that's not good. She's gonna need an engine. I'm not putting rod bearings in that. Clean everything up here. I'm gonna get some brake clean real quick for my hands. All right, I think we got all the evidence we need. That engine is junk. All right, I think I missed some of the chat. Let me go back up here. Yeah, I'm gonna call the dealer, see what if there is any warranty on it. Cut it, yeah, cut it. That filter open. I don't think I didn't get any on me, so that's a good thing. Because I did go home and change and put some better pants on, and I'm gonna wear these pants tomorrow. JD says my brother has bought 2 Sonatas with bad engines, got them covered. One was a 2.4, the other was a 2.0 turbo. Yeah, I got the 2.4. The best power starting fluid. So Simon Senior, hi, the best power. String fluid to use for leaks. I don't know. The best power steering fluid to use for leaks. Oh, I just repair all the leaks. The stuff at Menards, the FVP is thicker stuff, and they do make stuff that has a stop leak in it. Yeah, I always fix the leaks. That's what JD said. Usually fixing the leaks on a power steering it's not. It doesn't cost too much. It's usually more work than what it costs. Save that filter, yeah. Oof. Yep. Yes. Silly bearing's not supposed to be in there. I always feel so bad when we have to tell them the bad news. Well, I already told them that I was going to fix it, so now I have to call her and I have to, what do you call that? Recant what I told her. No, that's not a good job. I should have done more diagnostic on it before we came to the conclusion that that's what the problem was. It just seems Lucas power steering fluid is like molasses. So there you go, Simon. JD's a mechanic, a technician, so they do make some power steering fluids that do have a stop leak. I've never had an oil stop leak, or I've never used power steering stop leak. The only kind of stop leak I've ever had work a little bit is for the cooling system. I suppose that if it's an emergency, he's out on vacation and he needs to get home, thicker the better. Oh, that's some disappointing news. It's disappointing that I didn't diagnose it correctly all the way. And now it's disappointing that we confirmed that the engine bearings are toast. I wonder what was the underlying cause. Did they not change their oil? Or is it a manufacturing defect? We all know that the new Chevys are manufacturing errors. Yeah, they want you to run a 0-40 in the 6 liters now. Yep. So Michelle, I'm gonna have to call that gal tomorrow and tell her I screwed up what I told her, the diagnostic on it, and at least I may have to eat the oil change or whatever. I'll eat it. But if a Hyundai has a NOx sensor code, it likely needs an engine. Yeah. See, I'm just learning some of this stuff. But I'm telling you, JD, I cleared that code off and didn't do anything. Just cleared the code off, drove it 7 miles. I even got on it on the way back. I didn't hear nothing. I bring it in today to do the oil change ahead of time. And sure enough, I just backed it out to the parking lot and I could hear it knocking. So it is a manufacturing defect. It's a well-known problem. It's a Korean plot to disable our transportation system. Yeah, I think they're all working on that one. They don't want me to fix the cars or mechanics and shops to fix the cars anymore, and they're making them disposable. They really want you to drive your car for 5 years and then recycle it and then buy a new one. They don't make money when you got my van is, how many years old is my van? 79. So 26 minus 1979 40. My van's 47 years old and I still drive it all the time. The carburetor's never even been rebuilt on it. They don't want stuff like that to happen anymore. Yeah, it's a 2016. Let me see how many miles are on it. I mean, maybe we can get the engine warranted. Here it is. Let's see how many miles are on it. 118,000. Well, it's 118,902, so it's going to be 119,000. Yeah, they want us in EVs, and I guess Tesla just made a hybrid, or they got one coming out that's supposed to be 89% efficient. Yeah, my van is 47 years old. The carburetor's never been off of it. Neither had the valve cover gaskets, and they're leaking bad. The other day, I thought it might start on fire, so I think I better put some valve cover gaskets in the old Chevy van. Yeah, Michelle was right on the nuts. Yeah, he's upset at Cars for Clunkers. Cash for Clunkers. I wanted so many of those cars that people were taking in. I even went to a couple of the dealers and they said, no, they're cash for clunkers. They have to be crushed. Yeah, I was so upset. I told everybody, I'm like, I'll buy your car. Hyundai recalled more than 1 million vehicles to address a manufacturing issue that could lead to engine failure and certain circumstances engine fire. Yeah, I know back in the day, a GM recalled the supercharged 3800 because the valve covers would leak in it. I don't think any cars ever started on fire, but they said it could. So there was a recall for the valve cover gaskets on a 3800 supercharged. I don't know a lot about the general. I know the general stuff about cars, but not the specific stuff. We'll have to look into that because that vehicle shouldn't have. No, it shouldn't have a bad engine. There's a clearance issue or manufacturing defect, something. Maybe the block is warped, coming out of alignment when it gets warm or something. I wonder if that's an aluminum block on that engine. I don't know. I just know today after I changed oil, I was so disappointed when I backed it outside. I could hear that rod knocking. And this confirms that it is a rod knock and the piston's hitting the head. Because the part of the rod's inside that pan over there. And the oil filter. Hyundai might try to worm out of it, replacing the engine if it's a second owner. Yeah, I have no pull with the dealers around here. Maybe a little bit on the Ford dealer, but that's it. I have put in some brand new Ford engines from the dealer, and they're not too bad price wise. And Ford said something about the warranty. It's a lifetime warranty, and then it's a mileage. Yeah, they don't want to pay the money. Maybe if they are going to warranty it, maybe they'll let me put the engine in. I don't know. I suppose not. Then their techs won't make no money. Michelle says I'll do a Katrina tomorrow and make some calls. Yeah, we do got a lot of stuff we got to get. Absolutely has to get done tomorrow for the parade. So we want to make sure that we don't get behind on that. But yeah, I do got to call the lady and let her know. I feel a little bit bad on making the wrong diagnosis and telling her that we can fix it. So I'm not going to charge her anything if she's mad. The damn flies. All right, that fly's got to go. Well, that was cool. I don't think we got anything else we can really do. Maybe that's what we need to do is like, we cut up with an oil filter tonight, but maybe we need to do a small repair on the live feed some night. Michelle would definitely have to be helping out because I could barely get that camera in the right spot. Yeah, so the rat rod that I could show it now on the screen. He is on your hat. Damn flies. So the rat rod that we got on the video one of the last times here. I had it in my shop before, so here it is. Yeah, I still didn't find out about that axle, but it is a heavier duty truck. Like Hurricane Katrina, I need you to send me a new engine or I may call my Mother Nature. Their techs don't make money. They'll pay the dealer for privilege of being there. Yeah, that's Joe's rat rod. I don't know what. We're just looking at something under there. But he's the one that went by the other day. Just, I don't think there's any mufflers on it. It's really loud. It's got a big heavy duty 4-speed in there and he just got it rebuilt. Well, yeah, here's the drain plug I took out. The Toyota Tacoma the other day, the guy rounded that 10 millimeter Allen out inside there. And then I just took my air hammer with the chisel bit, and once I broke it loose, I screwed it out with my fingers. I had to wait 2 days to get a plug because I couldn't find one anywhere. So I ordered one on Amazon, and then the here's the problem with the one from Amazon. It was a 12 millimeter Allen. I mean, I got the socket, but my customer's probably not going to have that socket. Of course, whatever socket he had didn't work. He probably used a 3/8. Air hammer, blurp gun. My air hammer has a lot of power, so I have no need to get the Astro one. I haven't had nothing mine couldn't do. I mean, it looks good on the other guy's video, but yeah, it's fun with it anyways. And the other cool thing, Astro Tool makes him one, so that's sweet. The big old brake caliper I did on a 3500 the other day. Had to replace it because I couldn't get the bleeder out. I welded 9 nuts. It was broke off flush, but I welded 9 nuts to it, some washers underneath them once in a while. I used a color crayon. I could not get that bleeder out. I really wanted to get it out so I could show it on the live feed because that was on Tuesday. I couldn't get it out. So I ordered, this is a Brake Best caliper here, by the way, and it's working. Yep, I thought about that, but I did call him, JD, and he said he was in no hurry for the truck. So I just ordered him a new one. And I didn't need to use the hoist, so I just left it up on the hoist. I did the air conditioning compressor and all the ball joints, which them ball joints, my goodness, them ball joints, I'll show you here in a second. They took everything. My Goliath, I got Astro Tools Goliath ball joint press. It took everything, and it was putting a huge amount of flex on that C-arm for the win. Air hammer for the win. I was wondering about that. Thanks, Michelle. I'll get it down someday. I got a Leisure says I got a Chinesium stub nose air hammer. Heat the bleeder and put the crayon on it. Yeah, I did. I welded like 4 nuts on it before I tried the crayon. Then I'd let it cool all the way down, and I hammered on the side because you could hammer on that side a little bit. I hammered on the side and I hammered down on the bleeder too. Yep, it's a 3500. It's a 2007 GMC Sierra Classic 3500 Duramax diesel. And then I put in the Napa Silent Guard pads because that's all I could get that day. And then the O'Reilly's Brake Best brake caliper. And you can't really see it, but I greased it up good. Let me try to make it bigger. I used that green grease that Leisure said to use. It's on there. I greased it. And I greased where the caliper touches the pads. There you can see a little bit of grease down there. You don't have to put too much on there because it's gonna wash off. And it's on both sides of the, I put it on both sides of the little shim clip there. And then I noticed that ball joint hadn't been greased in a while, so I cleaned it up and greased it. But that caliper is massive. It is massive. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I mean, there's my drain pan. Look at the caliper. It's the same size as the drain pan. I have good luck with the Silent Guard pads. I did put some Napa Fleet pads in the police car, and they squealed for quite some time until I put the brake, glue on them. I'll put it back on me. What were we gonna do? And I did chamfer the edges and stuff on it, and I turned the rotors. That still didn't help the squeak. But when I put this stuff on there, disc brake quiet. That stopped the squeal on the squad car, and it still doesn't squeal. I get that car, and I just put I put that motor mount in, JD, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna look at the ball joint press. So doing the ball joints on that Toyota Tacoma, this thing was flexing. Like I watched it flex. It was opening right up like 3/8 of an inch. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then finally, pop, she came out. I probably need to put some better grease on the bolt. And then I don't know. So I got this is the one I did the wheel bearing in right here. This one here, and I got it all back together, and the brakes are already we got the fluid flushed in there. So I just got to clean up the hub on the other side before I can put the tires back on. Look how dirty that is. So clean that hub up, put the window switch in, go on a test drive. And I think we can get this one out of here tomorrow. Whoops. I banged you guys. on the shelf. Yeah, it's just they're heavy. So my breaker bar. What'd you do with my breaker bar, Michelle? It's over there. So I couldn't get the lugs loose with my big impact. I got all of them but one. And then I'm like, I gotta put the breaker bar on it with a cheater bar. So I did, and I twisted this. It's twisted. It's ready to break off, but it hasn't broke off yet. But the lugs have like a washer on them, so I did lube that washer up. So I don't think that'll happen again. It wasn't the pads; it was the pig behind the wheel squealing. Yeah, it was the kid cop. He's the only one that complained about it. I think if he could have just let it seat in a little while longer, it wouldn't have squealed. But those big Brembo 6-piston calipers, I never worked on those before. And Napa fleet pads were the only reasonable ones I could get. The GM pads were like $350 my cost. We have a snap-on the ball joint press 1 kit. Is it a big heavy-duty one like that? Kid cop needs a diaper change. Well, at least Leisure knows his name. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna be right back. All right, I'm back. I can put this on. I just had to take a leak and go get a beer. Yeah, I got my Busch Light. So yeah, I don't know if JD's seen the Busch Light collection. Them are all my cans of Busch Light. Yeah, this is over in Michelle's room that we're going to turn into a reception area. That's one of the tables that we made from a table we got for free on the curb. And then we made little bar tables out of it. There's 2 of those bars. We can go look. Yeah, let's go in there and take a look. Hopefully the phone won't disconnect from the Wi-Fi. But yeah, we're gonna make this room in here where these autos are. We're gonna put a window there with the underneath the TV, and then this door will obviously be locked. But we're gonna make all the customers come into this room. So we're gonna put a bar here, and then Michelle will be behind there. And then these are Michelle's tables. There's the other bar table we made. We bought that table for like $100. And then this is this bar table. And then we'll make everybody come in Michelle's door here. Oh, shut the lights off. So out here, you'll be able to see it says Michelle's. And Michelle's right in there. You see her. I could see her. So lost the phone again. It'll pick back up. There it goes. Haha, Leisure says Anheuser instant headache time. maybe I drink too fast or don't drink enough of them, but I get 4 or 5, 6 of these down and I gotta go to bed. Lightweight, my FIL usually drinks a 12-pack of Bud a day. Oh yeah, Michelle's waving at you. I was known to put a good dent in a 30-pack a day. Yeah, that might be a little too much, but as long as you're not mean when you drink, I think that's all that matters. Now this is really weird. Now there's some little gnats flying around here. Maybe it's because I got these 2 pop cans. I'm gonna go put these over here. I got a pop can crusher right over there. So then the pop cans fall right into the barrel. So there could be some gnats from that. Yeah, so I don't know what else we could talk about, but we're going to stay on for a while. I did turn the ads on just a minimum, so if they're bothering you, let me know. I'll try to turn them off. But yeah, I'm gonna, after the live feed, right now I'm gonna start making the list of everything we got to do for tomorrow, because Saturday's the parade, and we won't have very much time on Saturday to do anything other than just put all the ice and coolers in the back of the pickup. So we got to clean out the pickup. In the bed. I got to lube them springs because I don't want them things making that noise. So I got to figure out spring noise. We get paid 10 cents a can. When you recycle, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So we don't get that. I think if you save the cans that are marked the 10 cents on them and you save them, you can take them down to Iowa, but they can't be crushed at all. Yeah, so I get, it's the big, when I bring them in, the big bags are I probably get like a $5 per bag, maybe. I'd have to look at one of my tickets. And then I bring in what's in my pickup box trailer for steel scrap. And then all the aluminum, like the radiators or any aluminum housings or aluminum breakage, I put that inside the van with the cans. And I told Michelle I needed a day to go down there, so I don't know if she put that on my schedule. Let me look. So we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all off for Middlefest. Looks like the next Saturday is 4th of July, so that's off. No oil changes. So it's 2 weeks now. There's not going to be any oil changes. I got to go to Olmsted County just as soon as I can. Their magnet. Something's wrong with their magnet. Yeah, I don't see, Michelle, where you put me on the schedule to take my scrap. Here we got an oil change lined up already at the end of July. Yeah, we got a wash to pick up. We got to empty out the back. Yeah, I already got that. Well, I'm going to schedule myself a day to go to the junkyard. Looks like Friday the 10th it is. We got a few cars out there we got to scrap out too. We just had a car given to us the other day. The beer garden opens tomorrow at 11 a.m., closes at 1 a.m. all weekend for the festival. Yeah. Why, you going up to the beer garden? They actually have mixed drinks too. Well, you better work all day to. Well, you're. I don't know if you got enough cash. Tomorrow's not a working day. Well, if you come out tomorrow and work in the morning, you can earn some cash. Yeah, I think we have bratwurst and hamburgers. I have that scheduled for Olmsted County. That was beer bottles also. Yes, brats. Yeah, so Michelle already knows. Yeah, it's on this page here. Where's the beer gardens at? That should be at the beginning. Oh, it just says Grand Meadow Fireman's Beer Garden, music, food, fun. Downtown Grand Meadow. It doesn't say what they're having, but they always have bratwurst and hamburgers. We are number 62 in the parade. Yeah, we got to make some lettering for the pickup too, Michelle. Because the only place on the side is just one little sticker that says custom car mobile service and my phone number. Oh, Michelle has cash. She says she has some. Oh, I love sauerkraut. I'll even put sauerkraut on my hamburgers. Polish mustard. I'm not sure what that is. I just bought some really good honey mustard the other day. It's next to the liquor store. What's next to the liquor? Oh, where the beer garden is. Jesse says she can help with that. Yeah. Did you guys all see the sign she made for me? So Jesse Jolson made a sign for me the other day. She dropped it off personally for custom car. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. So Jesse and her husband are friends of mine, and they're customers of mine. So she made me a sign. I think that's pretty awesome. So thanks, Jesse, for thinking about me. And Jesse's going to help in the parade too, I think. Not for me, but for the town. JD says he doesn't like sauerkraut. Yeah, so I get some customers that'll make me cookies, and I think Jesse's the first customer that made me a sign. So I think that's super cool. Yeah, Michelle don't like sauerkraut. I think I'd mix something in mine, like maybe some brown sugar and some beer, and but I remember a few years ago I used to always grill out at the house for lunch. The damn fly's back. But I would cook those. I can't remember what they're called, but they're not kielbasa, sauerkraut, and mustard. Sounds great right now. Yeah. I just picked up some turkey slices and some American cheese, so I'm having cold sandwiches tonight. I think we got like mustard, ketchup, and mayo, and well, I don't want ketchup on my turkey, but mayonnaise and the honey mustard, American cheese, and a slice of turkey sounds good to me. And sometimes I'll put the bread slices into the toaster for just enough, just to get them just a little bit crunchy, but not toasted. But actually, I think we're using hamburger buns for the sandwiches tonight. Michelle says, I like that leisure minus the sauerkraut. Yeah, here's some cookies that a customer made for me for fixing her lawnmower. I mean, she paid me to fix the lawnmower too, but she also, once she came and picked it up, she was so happy. She made me a whole ice cream pail full of chocolate chip cookies. And then the other day, another customer, we had to go over and talk to her to pick up the cookies, but she made us a bag of cookies, and we ate those in a day and a half. And then just a week after that, Jesse brings me the sign. So I'm very well taken care of in my town, I'll tell you that. Michelle says, well, Leisure says, gotta have the caps off. I don't know. Michelle says, I have a half hot beef left over. Yeah, so we splurged for lunch today. We went down to Chester, Iowa, and there's this little gas station right on the border. I can't remember what it's called, but they have homemade hot beef with mashed potatoes, gravy, and roast beef. And I'm telling you, I ate mine in 2 minutes. It was all gone. And Michelle had like a couple plates out of hers, and then she ordered it in a to-go container, so she took it home. Yeah, but they have 1919 root beer on tap there, but they were out. So I was kind of disappointed. But it was pretty cool to get a home cooked meal today. They have other stuff there too, but I only get the hot beef. It's like grandma made it. So yeah, it was so good. And we took off at lunch just a little bit after 12, and we didn't get back till a little bit after 2. So we took a 2-hour lunch break today. So that's probably why the CRV is still in here. We took a whole extra hour on lunch break. And normally I only take like 15 minutes for my lunch break. So, but I'll get up early in the morning and get this CRV done. Yeah, if you blink, you'll miss it. It's in Chester, Iowa. It's right on the border. Straight down Highway 63. Yeah, we ain't. So we watch the news, and some of the places are getting blasted with heat. It's like 73 degrees right now. We are not. This morning it was cold. But I guess next week it's supposed to get in the 90s for us. So probably have to have the air conditioning on next week. So the plan is Michelle's going to drive the pickup. And then I'm going to be in the back. Michelle's going to have candy throwing it out the windows, or at least on her side. And then I'll have candy in the back and water bottles. So I'm probably going to have to, not throw the water bottles. So I'll probably have to run them to whoever needs it. And we're going to put a sign. We need a sign that says free water too. JD says, give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. They make it from scratch and it sells out daily. They say, yeah. They'll only serve what was it, till 2 o'clock, and then they're done. Michelle likes Dr. Pepper. And make it snappy. I'm in a goddamn hungry. LOL. Yeah, I know. When I get hungry, I'm like Michelle, I gotta have something to eat right now. 1,000 points if you know where that is from. Make it snappy. Goddamn hungry. No, I don't know. A movie. I think you're talking about a movie. Leisha probably knows. So I wonder if I got anything else. I just can't think of any news. Yeah, so the sign, good thing I remembered that sign. I wouldn't have remembered the sign, Jesse, if you didn't come on. Smokey and the Bandit. Okay, I remember now. See, I don't remember a lot of that stuff. It's been a while since I watched Smokey and the Bandit. That's an old movie. They just were on TV not too long ago. Yeah, let me see. So let me go back. I'm gonna look at my invoices. So we're doing really good on invoices. So I'm allowed to take a couple days off, I guess, hopefully. 59 invoices for the month so far. So really, just to be on track to where we normally are, I just need a couple more invoices. We do have quite a few that ain't paid here, Michelle. Well, I guess we did find out that the guy that we thought was mad at Michelle and diss Michelle, he wasn't mad at us, and he thought his day was on a certain day, and he just left. So Michelle doesn't recall giving him that day on the schedule, but he does. So maybe he's making it up, but he came back in the other day because he found something on Facebook he thought I was interested in, which turned out to be sold. So I couldn't buy it anyways, even if I was interested. And then we talked to him and like, hey, were you mad at us or or did Michelle make you mad? Did I make you mad? And he's like, no, I'm not mad. And he's like, well, how come you never made an appointment? Oh, I made an appointment. So we looked on that day, and it's already got somebody else's scheduled on it. So not sure how he thought he got that day, but we put him on that day, so I'll have to do 2 cars that day. Michelle better go Katrina mode and make some calls. Yeah, no, I think I'm glad that JD said that and he knows something about that, because the dealer, when I called them, they never said anything about anything, and they didn't even have this part on hand. But then they looked it up, and they could have said, well, there is warranty on it, but they don't want to do that, so I will call them. They're part of the Chrysler dealer network that we have in Rochester. And they call their dealer Happy Chrysler is what they call it. The Happy Auto Group. But I was just looking for any yeah, we had an RVer. What was it, Monday? 6/23. What day was that? Tuesday, an RVer from Pennsylvania had broken down in our neck of the woods, and he couldn't get nobody to help him, not even the Chevy dealer, because he had a Chevy motorhome chassis. So I told him I'd take a look at it, and I didn't really have to do nothing. This guy was really mechanically inclined, and he did all the work on it. He just came in and asked me a few things, and he kind of found out that the fuse box was bad and causing one bank of injectors not to work right. And I did let him know about the ground problem they have on the back of the head, and he already Googled that and found that out, and that wasn't the problem. He would touch one of the fuses for the injectors. I can't remember which one, but then it would shut the engine, that side of the engine off, and it would start missing. He'd wiggle it, and then it'd come back. So we ordered him a fuse box, and he put that in himself. He also took his old fuse box all apart, every layer of it. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I hope you took a picture of that. He's like, I did. And he completely put it back together, and then, because we had to wait a day to get the fuse box. So he completely disassembled that whole fuse box. We looked for bad solder joints or bad whatever. It did have a little bit of green crusties and silver crusties on it, but it was in between the layers. It's a double layer board of some chips in the middle. But he completely took that apart and put it back together, and then drove out to we have a little Wayside Rest campground right outside of town. And that's where he waited, because he could stay in my lot. We have a black tank. We have a sewer drain for RVs here, so he could have stayed in my lot. But he didn't want to. He had 4 kids in there and his wife. But anyways, I helped him out. We got a fuse box. He put it all in, and he texted me and told me he made it to such and such a place. We should text him back and see if he made it all the way back to Pennsylvania, Michelle. So we did that. We helped him out for a couple days. And then if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or give me a Google review, I give you $5 off your invoice. So he did that. But they left me a Google review. So that's pretty sweet. It's okay. Some of them, we are still working on their vehicles. Just a misunderstanding, but I got them on the schedule. Leisure is talking about making calls to collect. All the invoices without money. We got one that goes back here to the 11th of this month. They owe over $600. Yeah, I do have some outstanding invoices. Let me check and see how much people owe me. There's a way to do this. Michelle found it right away. But I do have some outstanding accounts. unpaid accounts right here. Let me see how much people owe us. $8,500 people owe us. That's a little bit too much. We got to get a handle on this, Michelle. I got $8,500 in unpaid invoices. And some of those I know we will never get our money out of it. But that's a little too much. I'm just a small business, just me, and I just started up. That's money I could be putting back into my buying some tools. And yeah, no way, Katrina, with that $600 slide, we have $8,500 on the books right now. I try to make that a top priority to making people pay. We are much stricter on it now. We do not let people take their cars without paying anymore, because those invoices are that $8,500. I mean, some of those are current, but most of them are from months and months ago, where I was letting stuff slide. They just said they were going to pay me, and they just never did. And they made me feel bad, like they got to take their car and they'll pay me the next week. Yeah, I'm going to go look at that again, because if one of those is somebody I just thought about, she's in trouble. It's $8,500. Katrina would have an orgasm. I better break out the attitude adjuster. I was just about to type that. That's way too much. I want to go back in here and look at the names on those ones, because there's one gal. She said she was going to pay, and I don't think she paid me. No, I can't even. I just closed the report. Now I can't find where it went to. It's right here in front of my face. Unpaid accounts. No, but I don't see her name on there, so she did pay. And you know who I'm talking about, Michelle. Let's see who's some of the biggest ones. Yeah, there's a couple. I don't want to say any names. And a couple of these are current invoices. Oh, one of them is a warranty claim, and Riley's has not paid us on that warranty claim yet. But there's some pretty big ones. How many is there? There's 36 invoices for $8,500 that people haven't paid. And most of it, I'd say all of it, is my fault for just being so lenient and letting people go slide. A lot of times, like that timing job I did, the gal said she couldn't pay, but she could pay me $100 a week. So I can't remember how much it was, but it was $900, and she ended up paying, but it was $100 a week. So some of the stuff is like that, but then some of the times they forget, and I forget. And if you're not on top of it, they'll never pay. So enough about that. That's just the extra harder I got to work to pay the bills, I'm telling you. And the tax man wants their share. And if you don't pay the tax man, you ain't going to be doing business. They won't let that slide very, very far. So here's the cabin air filter I did on on the Tahoe inspection I did on Monday. Was that Monday I did that? Or Tuesday? Anyways, the guy just wanted me to do it and found out after he came and paid. The guy just wanted me to do the inspection, so he knew, because he's a mechanic. He just wanted to know what he had to do so he could go on his trip out west. And all the stuff I found, he said he could handle. So, but I do a digital online inspection, and I charge for that. And then we replaced this cabin air filter because I wasn't going to put this cabin air filter back in looking like this for the price it costs to get a new cabin air filter and me to put it in. I'm just like, I'm not putting this back in. So he got a new cabin air filter. He paid me for the inspection, and he paid me to put the cabin air filter in. This cabin air filter had been replaced before because it was not a AC Delco General Motors cabin air filter. It was something else. Yeah, no, Michelle can handle it. Just sometimes she'll ask me, "Do you want me to call this person?" And I'll say, "Well, no." Sometimes she'll ask me, like, "Can I just go after them and get this money back?" And I'll say, "No, they're gonna pay eventually." So a lot of it's all on me. It's all on me. But I tell you what, I just would like some of the people that haven't made payments to start making payments. Yeah, Michelle can set the rules. She will too. So where is I just want to find another picture. Yeah, we can look at why we're I'll put Michelle back on and Benny's 67 Chevy Nova that he built himself. He gave Michelle a ride. What was it? Was it a week ago? But Michelle, or I don't know, him and Michelle, he's like, "I'll give you a ride." And she's like, "Sure, make it a date or something like that." But anyway, she missed the first one in the 50 Chevy, which is on here right there. There's the 50 Chevy. I fixed the air conditioning on this truck. Yeah, look at Michelle, man. You don't want to mess with her. She will mess you up. Now I'll go find what I was gonna find. I don't even know what I was looking for now. I can't remember. Michelle likes it when I put this picture up. So Daisy is snoozing. We took a picture of the signs. I'm telling you, the auto value guy and the AutoZone guy, them guys were so happy we were doing this. The AutoZone guy brought us more stuff. He's like, "This is so cool. I'm bringing you guys some more stuff." Uh, the auto value guy, he's like, "Yeah, I'm on board. I will give you guys the modified pick." I was looking for the modified pick. You mean this one? I don't think I was looking for this one. I can still go bigger. I'm still gonna look for the picture I was looking for. I don't even know what I was talking about. I'm on a rambling something. See, we were talking about people that owe us money. And then I was talking about something. Yeah, we decided that we're not going to go to Florida until probably October now. We need to save up a little bit more money. I calculated how much money and gas it's going to take to get down there at 7 miles a gallon. Actually, I probably went like 6 because we get between 5 and 7 in the RV. And we need a little bit more money. Plus, you guys all said that it'll be nicer to go to Florida later on in the year. It won't be so hot. So we decided to move our trip till maybe October. Well, for sure October. October is about the latest we could go. Because by the time we get back here, it'll be November. And that's about time to winterize the RV. Yeah, I'm not sure what picture I was intending to put up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting closer now. Just about popped back in my brain. I can feel it. It's right there. Oh, yeah. Michelle's zip tie holder. I just wanted to show that again. I don't know. She don't get enough credit for the zip tie holder. But I don't know where the picture is. Well, I got one picture I made for the portrait mode. Here's my brother's race car. You can see it better. And he's raced, I don't know, a couple years ago. So yeah, here's Michelle's zip tie holder, and this is made for portrait mode, so I'll make it bigger. But this thing is pretty sweet. And those are Napa windshield wiper plastic packaging. And then she hot melt glued it on this piece of plastic like cardboard stuff, corrugated plastic. And then I finally got the 11-inch zip tie holder one trimmed down. And I figured, well, shit, this thing's going to fall apart. But it didn't. Them things are on there to stay. So I got a bunch more packaging now, and we're going to make some more. Well, Michelle, since you brought it up, I guess so. I'll put it back on the camera. So I got my chips in this way. Then on the back, they're worth $5. So if you guys want a chip, you can have one for free. You just got to give me your address and you got to text it to me. So you got to get my number. I'll put my number in the chat. But you got to be a subscriber. But you guys all are. So if you want one of those chips, I'll mail one to you. You just got to give me your address, and I'll put you got to text your address to me. So I'm going to put my number in here. So if you want one of these chips, I'll send it to you. You don't have to pay me nothing. You just have to text me your address and your name, so I don't know who's texting me. So text me your address and your name, and I will send you one of my chips. Then you could keep it, or if you ever come here, you could spend it at my shop. But yeah, I just need your address and your name. Text on a text message. I have Rob's phone number, and I have Jeff Rose, James. I think that's and I have Buff. But my I won't make your phone number public or your address or anything like that. But my phone number is public. You can Google me and I'm there. So yeah, I'll send one of these to anybody that sends me their name and address in a text message. Even to Canada, JD. So these are the first round, and it says Custom Car LLC and Custom Car LLC. But I'm going to change that to put my phone number on here and then established in 2021. They're 11-ounce poker chips. And they were made in Taiwan. But they did a good job. So I was just wondering, is this coming up? Yeah, it's still, all the text is backwards. I can see on my big screen. I don't know. That's just an Android thing, I think. I think iPhones can make it go the right way. Yeah, I thought they weren't too bad. So what we're doing here at the shop is if you subscribe to my channel or if you leave me a Google review, you can either get one of these chips to spend next time or you get $5 off your invoice. I don't think it would be too bad. I'm going to do like a flat rate envelope if you guys... I know in the United States it wouldn't be too bad, but I'll send you one, JD. Yeah, there is a heavier weight poker chip, and that's a 14-ounce, but these are 11-ounce, or 11, maybe it's 11 grams. But I got to order, after I get rid of this bunch, I got to order more. And they're all going to get recycled back to me anyways. I mean, besides the people that want to keep them as a keepsake, I already gave out one to one of my good customers, and he didn't want to spend it that day, so he said he'll spend it a different day. But the only thing I would have changed if I could, and I couldn't do this, I'd make these little white spots black. But there was no option for that. But orange, I got the orange down. I might grab a couple of them for the parade, and if I see somebody, I'll give them one. I already paid Michelle her pay in one of them yesterday. She got $5 for working for the day. She gets more than that, but I just made a joke. So you can print stuff, 3D print them. Oh, on a 3D printer. Yeah, that would be cool. So do you make stuff on the side and sell it, JD? A friend of mine had a 3D printer, but I don't think he knew how to use it. So I kind of got discouraged. So one thing I know you can 3D print is like pliers holders for your toolbox. Well, that would be cool. You should see what... Make me a prototype. I'll pay you. The guy that makes my oil change stickers, is in Canada. These were made in Canada. They come on a sheet like this. They're all individual, but the back is there. You can see it. So yeah, there's my phone number. Well, it's backwards text. But I ordered these, like, I think it was on eBay, but the guy turns out in Canada. He's in Canada. I don't know. There's a couple things I'm going to change on here when I have to reorder these. It's light tack vinyl. So like on a really, really hot day, it does tend to peel the corners a little bit, which I don't like, but they always come back. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So over I'd say the last month, I've been saving all my oil change stickers, and I just put them on over here. But you see how the corners kind of peel on some of these? They tend to do that when the heat gets on the windshield. So I don't know if I could get a heavier tack vinyl would work better. Here's the one out of that. Yeah, we'll just leave that alone. Send me your logo and file, and I can design something. Yeah, even if it's not a poker chip. Yeah, I will. I don't know how to get your. I don't know how to get my logo to you. You know, I'm interested in a 3D printer, but would I buy one? No, because I am so busy. Like Michelle time, relaxation time is very minimum. Yeah, you can text me. I'll put my phone number up there. But yeah, I don't need any more side projects. I do a little bit of prototyping for like IoT devices and stuff like that, and I don't even have time to do that anymore. Like I was making the wheel speed audio sensor, and I still haven't finished that. And there's on the RV, I'm going to make a relay that shuts the shore power off if the batteries get too turns. Let's say turn the shore power cord on if the batteries get low. And I want to do that before we go to Florida. But yeah, I'm very interested in stuff like that. I got a vinyl cutter, single color, so I can't do stuff like this. But I made all the signs. I made all the signs for the. Me and Michelle made all the signs for the parade. Yeah, so these signs right here. We made these. Yeah, but fixing people's cars, I think, is what I was meant to do. Because we help a lot of people out, and one of you guys just got to me. Okay, I got JD. So tonight I'll put you in as a contact. But yeah, no, I got enough little things to keep me busy. I would love to do that maybe later on in life, because I know like you could make some pliers holders and pry bar. That's what it was, a pry bar holder for the side of your toolbox or the wall. Like I could use a pry bar holder. I did finally figure out that my detail cart can hold most of my pry bars, all but two of the big ones. Yeah, no, I'm very interested in. Always like to tinker around and make things. I've always done that. The one job I worked at, I was like a fabricator for for the magnet controllers. I've a designer, fabricator. I made it all. The starting units, yeah, I did a lot of fabrication and engineering on those. Somewhere. So last Tuesday was our longest live feed stream yet. So where is... Yeah, I made this solar bike. Electric bike. It's electric bike. Out of a big bike, and I put little wheels on it and cut the frame down and put electric motor on it. Three jump pack batteries. Not this one. That's the one for the motorhome. Sorry. Here's the starting units. So I built these. That whole control panel, we would cut the piece of aluminum out, and I would drill all the holes, and they all had to be like universal, so all the holes had to be matching. And same with the tin. The holes were all in the same spot on every one. I had a lot of jigs, and patterns and jigs to build these. My charge controller, yep. So there's my circuit board. I designed the circuit board. I don't make circuit boards, but I designed it and had it made for me. And then here it is in actual use. So I prototyped a little charge controller. This was for a wind turbine. A couple diodes on there. A couple relays, a couple meters. And this had a divert function too, where I could divert the power to like a water heater or something if the batteries were charged. Yeah, here's the thermostat at the house. Michelle hates this thing. This thing has been running since 2018, and it's still working. Pete's Smart Stat. It's something PDL, so that's Pete something Labs. Or PGL, so my name Labs, like Bill Labs. What else did I? Oh, here's the can holder we made in the RV. I don't like cans on the bottom laying into 12 packs, so I made a can holder to the ceiling. And 2 12 packs could be held up here above the refrigerator. All right, Leisure, I got it. I'm going to send you a chip. Yeah, I guess I need... See, Leisure's pretty smart. I guess I need your name, too, if I'm going to mail it. Your real name. There's my engine. I mean, I built this engine. Look at the attention to detail I did on this thing. Where's the other engine at? Taking this engine off the screen, and I'm putting this engine on. This engine was built a lot earlier on than that race car engine. But look at that. I didn't even paint the head bolts. I did not paint the gasket surface there where the head gasket is. I didn't paint that. That fuel pump cover, I made that out of some 1/4 inch aluminum plate. I can't see the oil pan on this thing. Or I can't make it out. Oh, it's got aluminum Edelbrock. Aluminum Edelbrock oil pan. Cast aluminum. Well, those valve cover hold downs I had made for me, they cost me a lot of money. I painted the valve covers red in the middle. I sold them valve covers. Somebody wanted them for an old 68 Chevy, I think is what they came on. Yeah, Michelle handles all the logistics. So yeah, Michelle handles all the logistics here. I fix the cars. I could do it when she's gone or not doing it. But I don't get as much work done if I'm doing all the paperwork and the billing and handling the customers and the mailings and unboxing of the parts and getting stuff set out. She's getting very used to it and getting very good at it. She gets all the oil filters lined up for Saturday and all the oil, make sure we got it all on hand. Sometimes she gets mixed up and buys me a Napa filter when I should have a Motorcraft. But that's my fault because I didn't tell her. Like a lot of the Fords I do, the people want Motorcraft filters. One of the Fords I do, he wants Motorcraft everything. Some of the Chevys I do, they want all GM oil, all GM filters, AC Delco. What else? We do get a fair amount of OE parts here to put on cars. Elevator Adventures. I just saw your video about unlocking a Tahoe. Thank you for that video. Actually, just unlocked my Yukon XL after my keys got locked in there. Yeah, I was just messing around that day, and it was a friend of mine's, and he came over when I was in the middle of working, and it's like I locked my keys in the Tahoe. Well, it took me a little longer than I normally can get into them. I do a lot of lockouts over at the gas station, especially. People will lock their keys in with their car running with their dogs inside. But you're welcome. I try to do the best I can. I used to do a lot of repos, so lockouts are kind of right in up my alley. The other day, Michelle, when we went and got that Hyundai, it reminded me of doing repos. Yeah, we had to go get it. So yeah, we're just having a little live stream tonight. We do them Tuesdays in portrait, and then Thursdays in landscape. Yeah, I'm glad you got your Yukon unlocked. So a 3/16 brake line works good too. If you don't have the heavy duty wire or the unlocking kit. And the other thing about that, it's got your battery's got to be good. So yeah, welcome to the live stream. So we talk about cars, and we're just talking about all sorts of things right now. Hey, you want to see what Michelle looks like? There's Michelle. So that's one of my customers. He gives me a little projects here and there, and then he really likes me, and he brings me over root beer, and he gave Michelle a ride in a '67 Nova that he built. He built this whole car from ground up. So yeah, at the time I did that Tahoe unlocking the lockout, I was in my garage working. Now I have my own shop. Let me put a picture outside. So I ended up buying a shop in the same town. Michelle doesn't like this picture for some reason. Shop outside. So here's the outside of my shop. Here, I'll make the picture bigger. This just happens to be on a day that actually we make sure everything is cleaned up outside. Although there is a lot of cars here currently. So we just started here, what, 2 years ago, Michelle, in this shop? Actually, it's 2 years to the day. This is the shop anniversary. Pretty sure, yeah. No, or is it July? It's either June or July 25th. Yeah, I think it's 2 years to the day right now. Michelle, we're missing the shop anniversary. All right, let me open this up. That's got some rust on it. We usually get a lot. That's still okay. Oh, it's a 2022. Gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Our GMs here, they put a little bit of a black like undercoating on them. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of rust. Yeah, somebody honked. Oh, it's that guy. Don't know if I could say that or not. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, JD. Um, yeah. So 2022. That's getting some rust back there. I'm like thinking it's like a 19 or 2008, 2009. Man, them frames are gone. I did find I can't fix. I used to fix frames, but I can't fix them here anymore. I mean, I could do that. I could wire wheel that down or sandblast it down and then protect it. But I can't actually do frame repair here. My insurance don't let me. Because when I first moved here in 2020, whatever year that was, 2024, I think. Yeah, they went to my website and they went to my YouTube channel and they seen what I was doing before they issue my insurance. They're like, you got to take that stuff off your website. Yeah, I don't know who they are. And during the daytime, if I could see them, like I might be able to tell you. I know when we had the Ranger out there with the flags on it, uh, every single car was honking when they went by. Michelle had a Busch Light too today. She probably won't admit it. When she was working, by the way, it was more towards the end of the day. It was probably like 4 o'clock. We had all the customers handled for today by that time. Yeah, she only has one. I told her she's just got to drink it a little bit faster and have like 3 or 4. So tomorrow I probably will do a short video or something on the pickup or the parade sign, something. I'll do something. Maybe we'll do a whole bunch of short videos tomorrow. Oh, it's 4:30. Yeah, so we already had all the customers handled because I don't like no beer in the shop until we close, and official closing time is 8 o'clock. It only takes one to induce an instant headache. I don't know. I don't get no headaches from them. Yeah, I'd get a headache from whiskey and vodka. I'll tell you that. We'll put it on Daisy Dog. I just heard her bark. I got more pictures of Daisy. This picture was taken this year. All right, I'm back. I'll put it back on me. Yeah, so yeah, I have fun. I have fun fixing cars actually now. It's not going to be fun tomorrow talking to that customer. I screw up once in a while. Should have just waited. Should have just waited to get it. Should have just done more. I thought after driving it, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this engine. I even got on it. It didn't knock or nothing when I was on it. And but today after doing the oil change and backing it out, I could hear it. I don't think that's fair for me, but it's not fair for her, not fair for me, but they could have doctored that oil up. It could have been had some STP in there or something. Yeah, no, we don't have no money invested in it, and she can make a decision whether one way or another. And I'll have Michelle call that dealer tomorrow because it's Friday tomorrow. So I'll have Michelle call them and give them the VIN number and see what's going on. I don't have my hopes up, but it would be cool if they did. Had warranty on the engine. Yeah, the root beer. I got some. Benny brought us that spritzer, which is in Wisconsin, and it's the only bottle he brought us. And he dropped it off. He didn't even come in. He also brought me 2 bottles of the Spring Grove stuff, which is in Spring Grove, Minnesota. And that Spring Grove root beer is pretty good. I really want to have this bottle of spritzer, however you say that. It's in Wisconsin. They're from Wisconsin. And then the dads, I like that. The 1919 tasted like a cream soda. And that's the New Ulm Brewing Company in Minnesota. And the Barks and the mug. I got a little can of A&W. I had this for the live feed today. Yeah, I had this picture going on there. My 91 Grand Am. Yeah, we could make this picture bigger and look in the background. There's a Alice Chalmers WD. There's the race car. There's my brother's race car. There's the van way back there. All the chairs are out. We must have had a fire. There's a Chevy Blazer back there. That's a Chevy, 94 Chevy rollback. It might be a 3500. I just seen my brother drive that truck by the other day. It's got a steel rollback bed on it. Might have been homemade. That's about all I could make out on this picture. Yeah, the tractor is a Alice Chalmers WD. It's not a WD-45. It's just a WD. Yep, my race car trailer is behind the van. Yeah, that was kind of. I found that picture the other day because it had me standing beside my 91 Grand Am. Yeah, the tractor still runs, so at least it did. I tried to help my brother keep them all running. And it's got good tires on it. The front tires are starting to get bad, but before Dad died, Dad had bought brand new tires and rims because the rims on our original ones had the salt in them, the salt water, the brine for weight, and it rusted out the rims. So I think that's why we had to get new tires for the back. Yeah, so that is kind of disappointing, but we got her fully diagnosed now. We cut that oil filter, and there's all kinds of bearing material in there. I don't know if you guys had seen that, but it was really bad. There was actually big flakes in there. Yeah, that WD tractor was the lawnmower. It had a Woods mower deck on it. I remember when I was a kid mowing out there. I'll put it back on. But mowing all this, it ain't very mowed right now, but mowing all that. And then all them pine trees in the back, the shorter ones, my mom planted when we first moved there. Some of them grew pretty good and some of them didn't. I remember my mom, it was a drought when we moved here. And my mom had to carry 2 5-gallon pails on a pole, and she walked them down from the well, which is right here beside that shed. She would walk the 2 5-gallon pails of water down on her back on a pole and water them trees. Calcium chloride, is that what they put in the tires? Yeah, that rusted out the rims. But my dad he knows a guy that had an Alice Chalmers collection, and he got 2 brand new rims and 2 brand new tires and for the back, and we put those on there. I got a Lowe's hat. Oh, it's a Jimmy Johnson. And a Jimmy Johnson shirt. I must have been going on a date this night. Yeah, I love this car. I put a turbo on it. quad 4 turbo right here. This was that car. No, JD, you can send me whatever you want. Rob, that comes on here from Pennsylvania, he sends me all the pictures of his garden, and it's really got us so inspired making our own vegetable garden. And he's out in Florida right now, so that's why he's not on here. But yeah, I put a turbo on here off a 2.2 Chrysler, like a Dodge Daytona turbo. And I made everything work. I even added an extra fuel injector. Oh, the air conditioning even worked. There was no oil leaks or exhaust leaks or nothing. This thing could make some boost. I think almost like a 13 PSI a boost. Well, you're right on the coast, and look at all those. Can I show this picture, JD? I won't. I got it just in picture, so none of your information is on there. I can't put it up on the screen, but I can show it what it looks like on my phone. So JD just sent me this picture. I'll make it bigger, and we'll just scroll side to side. It must be some kind of lookout, because those signs are like tourist signs. And a bench. That's the whole picture. Yeah, Michelle, I'll show Michelle when I come in. Looks like some mountains in the background. Something. Oh, there's a moth or a June bug back there. I do got to let the hoist down on the locks too. I didn't do that. I know you're supposed to set them down on the locks every time, but I don't. Only if I leave the car on there overnight, I'll put it down on the locks. That's like a 2-minute walk from where I'm sitting right now. That's cool. It's really cold in the winter. I don't know what he means by sometimes, but Michelle doesn't like the cold. I guess I don't mind it. I would move to Alaska. But I think we're going to be going the other way. And we don't have to move to Florida, but if our elections don't go right in this state, they're coming up. I'm out of here. What else do I got? Not too much. I'm going to sell my Harley because Just not riding it. We're gonna probably ride it during our Metal Fest. Maybe go up to the beer garden. But after that, I'm selling it. I just don't think I'm a Harley guy. Yeah, my yard light for the shop burned out. I gotta get that fixed. Yeah, I can show you my hours. 8 to 8, 9 to noon. Key drop box right there by the door. Little bench. One of my customers works at another place, and they were throwing that little bench away, and I'm like, I'll take it. Mess up your sleep schedule. No, Michelle, I think you'll be able to sleep more. Yeah, so then I'm going to get that key coded lock working or something on this door. Then everybody's going to have to go over to Michelle's door, which I don't think I have a picture of that. And then we're going to have like coffee, pop, snacks, chips, anything that doesn't require her to have a FDA certification or whatever kind of certification, so she could just sell stuff in there. Shop outside, yeah. Michelle, you can't. I didn't get a picture of Michelle's side here. It is on Google. We could go look at that. Let me get it pulled up here. So I'm gonna put you guys onto the computer screen. As soon as I figure out how to do so. Computer screen. This is what I look at, and this is exactly what it looks like. Everything. And then now I'm just gonna go down here and click out the internet. So I search my business, Custom Car LLC. See outside. So here, this is when I first moved in. So Michelle's area is in that little part. So I'm going to make all the custom. I'm going to put a coded lock on my red door there and give that to like Napa and UPS, those type of people. The only problem is when the doors are open in the summer, the customer walks into the doors, the overhead doors. But I don't know what to do about that. But I'll just tell them, hey, you got to go into the other room. So right there where the big glass window door is, we're gonna make everybody go in there, and so they can't come into my area. What other pictures do I have on? There's some snow. There's a big F-250 four-door long box, and it just barely fits on my hoist. I'm thinking about putting like a laser beam across there that they walk across the laser beam and it puts an alarm off. Sets off an alarm. Oh, Leisure sent me a picture of one of his asphalt modifieds. Can I turn my phone this way? Can I show that picture, Leisure? Yeah, I need to do something. But that's our big plan to get all the customers to go into Michelle's area, and then she'll sell pop chips and we'll give away coffee, I guess, right? But she'll have stuff in there, and then we got all them tables in there, and we'll put a little bar counter in there for her and get her a square terminal. I had 2,000, 2.32K views on that pickup. 3K views on that one. Doesn't tell me anything about the other ones. Yeah, we can put it on the maps. How do I change it to this one? Oh, there's Michelle's Impala. Can I make it bigger? There's my van. That's my parking lot too. I got all the way over to the fence. Down there's the gas station. The bar is on the left side of the road there in the brown. Make it bigger. Yeah, the bar's in that brown little hut thing. The gas station's over there on the right. 45 miles an hour. Yeah, people do not obey the speed limit here. Then we got John Deere, a John Deere implement dealer right there, right across from us. And I got quite a few of them guys are my customers, and then I go over and buy all my small engine parts and oil from them. They got a nice American flag. Hey Michelle, this picture was taken. Oh, that's before our mailbox got wiped out. Okay, yeah, I had a big semi brake drum on my mailbox. Eventually, I want to. Whoops, what's going on? Eventually, I want to buy this property right beside me over here and extend my shop all the way over there, and we'll do a drive-through oil change. And if I ever do that, it's gonna be that's probably all we're gonna do is just drive through oil changes, and we're gonna advertise them. But there's another street. We'll make we'll make you come in over here, and then you'll drive through, and then come out the street right over here. No, it was It was the gal at Casey's that cooks our sandwiches, our chicken sandwich, filet sandwiches that are just like the old Hardee's used to be. So we'll have her make them fresh for us. And she was headed to work early in the morning on a Sunday, and it was a bright sunny day, and the sun was in her eyes because she was headed east. And she took out the mailbox. It's all taken care of now. Progressive sent us a check and everything. They paid for my labor and a new mailbox, and for getting my old mailbox back up there, which I haven't got the new mailbox yet. But I think we're the only ones that got our mailboxes back up so far, right, Michelle? Nobody else has? All right, let me put it back on. I got to see if Leisure said I could put this picture on or not. Okay, so here's an asphalt modified. Try to get it. Gosh, it's not. That's the best I could do. Gosh, the contrast is just not working for this picture. Yeah, you guys probably can't make it out very good. I'm going to have to download this picture and then actually put it onto the... Just wait. Okay, now we can do it. Here's Leisure's picture he just sent me of an asphalt modified. Yeah, I always do that. I got it up now. But the contrast is, it's 94 is the number. Some slicks on there. But I'm going to have to like download this and then put it onto my software so I can show it better. Because the contrast is just not working. So there's like no big hood scoop on there. Just a big air cleaner sticking out. I tried sending a video, but it wouldn't go through. Yeah, that's cool as crap. Slicks, big wide ones. Looks like they're like 14 inches wide. Yeah, maybe that's better. Yep, the good old days. I remember those. Does the big puddle of oil show up? I don't think so. No, there's no oil showing up. I got a picture of one of my cars in the infield, and you can see the oil all over. She put a hole through the bottom. Like I say, the good old days. Haha, I can't see it. Yeah, we're going to have to transfer that picture over and then show it in the live stream. It'd probably be best for next Thursday, but I'll put it in there if that's okay. 15-inch Goodyears. Yeah, they're on a 15-inch rim, but are they 15 inches wide too then? That's after the engine blue. Yeah, I have a picture just like that. I'm gonna have to find it and put it on too. Mine's in a street stock though. But there's a trail of oil coming off the track, and then when I'm sitting there right on the edge of the infield, there's a big puddle of oil there. And I was like, man, I just lost all my oil. Oil back in those days for me was expensive. I probably didn't change the oil as many times as I needed to. We used 2050 Castrol, and it was green. No, Kendall. Yeah, I used 2050 Kendall, and it was the green stuff. That was the best oil. But then they made it to be regular oil. It was brown, so then I switched to Castrol. The video is funny. Yeah, you just gotta you just gotta be patient. It will come. It will send through. I know it will, because some of my brother's videos that he sends me takes a whole day. Yeah, I got that. Reminds me, I should find that picture of my street stock that blew up, sitting in the infield, oil all underneath of it. No, it'll send. You just sometimes it takes a while. With videos, it does. So I know the videos that I took when I was racing were on like high 8 tapes. So I'm just wondering, is your video in modern format, or did you like video a video? Oh yeah, yeah. If it's too big a file, then it might not send. So Michelle's right about that. I got to show JD the. Well, there is no picture of the Veo, but the clutch master Ecotech. Yeah, we got a Chevy Aveo in here, because the gal had it at 3 different shops, or no, at one different shop they put a clutch in it, and she had it there 3 times, and she was driving back from the last time, and the clutch stopped working again. So it did have air in it when I opened that bleeder screw. Plus the fluid was bad, and it feeds off the master cylinder for the brakes. But when I opened that bleeder screw right down there, air, I could see little bubbles coming out of it the whole time, and then I'd go pump it up, and then it would be foamy bubbles coming out. But I would just gravity bleed it without any pressure on the clutch. And I did that many times, especially to get that old brake fluid out of there. But finally, I just waited until it got clean, crystal clear brake fluid, no bubbles, and went back in, and it's right how it should be. And then I even had Michelle drive it. And then we took this car to lunch the first time I worked on it, before I worked on it, because it was driving. I could operate it, but we go over to the Motor Mart, and I'm like, I nudged Michelle. I'm like, is this the girl's car we have? And she's like, yes. So we got caught driving a car to lunch. And I'm like, so I yell at her. I'm like, hey, we got your car. We're driving it. We're driving it right now, actually. And she's like, oh, cool. It drives. It didn't drive for me. And I'm like, yeah. So she says, well, I need it to work, so make sure it's working. You can drive it all you want. So we drove it the next day. Well, after that time where we got caught, we're going to take it the next day. But I had left the car in reverse, and I could feel the clutch was only half there. So I'm like, yeah, there's something wrong with it. So we didn't drive it that day, the next day. So I ended up bleeding the clutch, and then we drove it again the other day, and we took it for a longer drive. But I think we've taken it to get lunch a couple times now. It's recorded off of YouTube. Well, if it's on YouTube, I could get it. Just give me the title of the video or whatever, and it should pull up, right? Yeah, we could play it right now tonight. As long as there's no music in there, I get copyrighted. Yeah, the clutch was intermittent, but it's good now. Actually, we got to drive it again. We should take it to lunch tomorrow or something. We'll put it in the parade. that you can follow me in the car, Michelle. The Aveo, the Chevy Aveo. Yeah, you guys seen it when I walked out for Michelle's to show you the door. Yeah, before. But there's nothing wrong with the pressure plate or the disc or the release bearing or the pilot bearing. All that stuff is, as far as I can tell, and I'm starting to question my diagnostic skills, but as far as I can tell, all that is good. So we do need to try it one more time, and I want her to come pick this car up on Monday, if it's good. It could be hanging up. They just put it in new, so it shouldn't be. I don't know. There wouldn't be no way for me to get up in there to grease it, I don't think. Every time after I got it all bled out, though, it feels fine to me. Like before, the pedal was so soft it didn't feel like it had any resistance to it. But after I got it bled out, it actually feels normal. There's a slight resistance on the pedal. There's about a 1 inch free travel at the top, and then about a 2 inch where she starts to go at the bottom. So it's 2 inches off the bottom where you start, because that's different. Michelle was having a hard time the second time she drove it, because the clutch had a long ways before it would start, not a long ways, but normal ways where it would start engaging. Before, when we first did it, it would engage right off the bottom of the floor. But now there's like an inch and a half. Probably you lift the pedal up and then she starts engaging, which is, I feel, is normal. But I don't get a lot of manual transmissions in here. I would say it feels completely normal to me right now, but we got to try it again after it's set now for a couple days, just to make sure that somehow there's not something else going on where it's getting air into the system. Yeah, that bleeder screw. And then that slave or that master is new, but it's not as new. Here's the thing I don't understand. That's not as new as the slave. The slave is like brand new. So that's really weird. But I think we got it now, and we did get caught over there, and we had a little conversation about the gas station attendant too, because he owns the gas station or whatever, and he works there in the mornings. But he thought it was pretty funny because when we first were there and we told her we were driving his car, he's like, "Oh shit, you guys are in big trouble." Yeah, it's a thing of the past. The kids just don't know how to do it. I prefer automatics, but I can drive a manual. I have trouble shifting to Harley though, upshifting, because I don't like to use the clutch. Once you get going, I like to just like driving a race car. You don't use the clutch. But downshifting, I can downshift the Harley just fine. But upshifting, it's kind of like jerks in real hard. But if I use the clutch, it shifts fine. Michelle's like, you don't use the clutch once you go, and I'm like, a lot of the cars back in the day, my Buick Skyhawk, that was a 5-speed, and once we got going, I never used the clutch. First car I owned was a 16, was an 88 Ford Tempo 5-speed. I think Michelle might have had one of those. What was yours, Michelle? She might have chewed second gear when the clutch failed. Yeah, I had an S10, an 82 S10 with a 5-speed. I wasn't easy on that. So she was just talking that transmission has got some really tight, really weird synchronizers in it. My first was a 72 GMC 1500 with 3 on the tree. Yeah, I'd never driven an actual on the tree manual transmission. So that would be a new experience for me if I ever got the chance to drive one. I don't know if I could, because that's like shifting the plow truck, from first to reverse. I mean, I'd be in the plow truck, or I'd be in the F-150 trying to get it into first, second, and third. It's probably not a good idea if that happens for me. But that was back in the older days. They had those. My dad had a 58 Ford Fairlane with 3 on the tree, but it was never running for me to drive it. Getting some traffic going out there. Oh, Michelle's was a Ford Focus, and it had some PVC piping, PVC piping for the hoses. The guy was a plumber, I guess. Leisure says I put a Hurst floor shifter in it. Well, that's cool. You just didn't like the 3 on the tree? A 72 GMC 1500. Yeah, I just worked on a 68. The guy wanted it ready for Middlefest. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the guy that with the lockout. What was his name? He just wanted to say thanks for the video. Elevator Adventures. That was really nice of him coming on to the live stream and saying that. Yeah, I was just looking back. I think I got a Hurst shifter in my Ranger. Let's go look. A Hurst shifter handle. I'm sure it is. Yep, it's Hurst. That's not factory Polaris. I put that in there. I was saving that handle for a long time. I had it in my Nova, 72 Nova, with the floor shifter, automatic. Well, that's like Hurst automatic. I was just checking my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll do some video, at least a couple short videos tomorrow. I need to start making more long format videos. I could have done one the other day, but it's just so much going on that I barely have time just to make the short videos I do. And by the time I think of doing a long video, it's already I don't know what I was trying to say, but I need more long format videos. And usually the last two I did were, one was like a how-to, but the other one was just a walk around. But I like to do the repair, a long video repairs. But it's been so high paced in here lately. And obviously I missed the diagnosis on the guy's or the gal's Hyundai. Something is happening. Michelle found some pictures of something. Oh, is this the interior plumbing? I don't see no interior plumbing. What kind of? So maybe right there. And then there's a picture of something else. This must be the day we're putting we're putting the engine back in the modified. I don't know why she sent me that picture. Yep, we're definitely putting it back in because we brought it here with the engine out and it's in the shop. And that pulley on the top is for a 327. But the bottom one is the reduction pulley. But I always use the stock pulley on the top on the water pump. Oh, there's my power steering pump. That's off a Grand Am. Quad 4. That's like the most reliable power steering I've ever had on a race car is that pump. Yeah, not too much else in that picture. There you can see like how much room I had to see out the front. So that's like a 6 or 7 inch view area. She says, Michelle says she's sending me a couple of pictures. Well, I think I got them. Well, I think it's about that time. It is starting to. Yep, I showed it on the stream. I did figure it out. But I think we're gonna call it and sign off for tonight. I'll try to do some short videos for tomorrow and I'll get that picture of Leisure's modified downloaded. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys all have a good rest of the week. And yeah, hopefully you guys all have a good rest of the week and good weather. I hope that oil pan goes good for you, JD. Yep. It's about that time, Leisure. You're still here. Were you dozing off a little bit? yeah, I'm gonna call it. Sign off. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Had a good time tonight. I'll get some of them chips sent out to you guys just as soon as I can. So just be patient. I'll get them out. So.